Now, from the station on your side, this is Wavy News 10.
There's someone stuck in here. We gotta get them out.
All the debris from that house flying by my head.
Slammed the house down on the, off the foundation.
That's tore all to pieces. I'm still here.
Just glad to be alive.
Devastation in North Carolina. The National Weather Service confirms 5 tornadoes in the eastern part of the state, 3 of them in our area. Only Chopper 10 can give you this aerial view of the damage in Elizabeth City, Edenton, Pasquotank, and Perquimans counties. North Carolina officials say at least 12 people are hurt and dozens of homes are destroyed. We have team coverage of the tornadoes tonight. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona is here to show you the exact path those storms tore through the state. But we start with 10 on your side's Jason Marks in Edenton, where a family got trapped in their home. Jason?
And what an amazing story of survival here tonight. Let me show you the family house right here. And you can see this is on Yopium Road here in Chowan County. This house was built almost 100 years ago. We're told last night a mother, her 1-year-old baby boy, and another family member, a 10-year-old little girl, were in that house when this storm went through. The little girl was able to crawl out that window and come running for help, and that's when help was coming right down the road.
I was an emotional wreck till about midnight last night.
So many stories of heroism are coming to light during last night's tornadoes. Just outside the small town of Edenton, Bryson Ghosh and 3 buddies became heroes when they least expected it.
Couldn't do nothing. It would have been pointless to sit here and wait for the ambulance or someone else to get here.
Just as the tornado passed, Ghosh was coming down Yopium Road when he noticed a house sandwiched. He then heard a mother and her 1-year-old baby boy were trapped inside.
As soon as I ran over there and got them out of the crew, started yelling at her, "Baby, where you at? Where you at, lady?" And she started screaming.
Running out of time, he and his buddy summoned unexplained strength.
No, I don't think I could go over there and move that thing right now.
They were able to lift the roof.
I stood underneath there and lifted up with my back, and she had the baby just like right here. The baby won't go nowhere. If that baby probably would have been crushed if it weren't for his mom.
Both mom and son were covered in blood. Everyone thought the little boy was dead. They were both rushed to the hospital. Mom has since been released, and the little boy, well, he's fighting for his life.
Just thinking about that kid's face, what he was like when I pulled him out.
It's amazing that anyone survived. Ghosh thinks it's only because of divine intervention.
We got off early because it rained. There's a tree down there for a reason. God put me to come this way.
Yeah, it's a good thing he was passing by when he did. It must have been terrifying at that moment. As you can imagine, that storm comes through. It's still raining, so much wind, and then all you have the flashes of light from the lightning because the power's out. Now you're looking at the area of this home where mom and the little baby boy Gavin, they were there. We're told Gavin is now at CHKD in Norfolk. He right now, we're told, is in an induced coma. For the next 48 hours, they want to relieve some of the pressure from his brain, and he's also on a ventilator breathing. Obviously, everyone here is hoping for the best, hoping that this little boy survives, but just an amazing story because it could have been a whole lot worse if those Good Samaritans weren't passing by when they did. Now back to you.
Jason, a scary story there, and a 10 on your side viewer sent us this video, also very scary. They say it was a twister in Chowan County. The National Weather Service confirming that several tornadoes did touch down in that area last night. And now we're going to shift our focus to Pasquotank County. We're hearing from emergency crews there that we had 17 homes destroyed, 13 homes with significant damage, and a handful of others with just some minor damage. So really some devastation. And you've tracked the paths that these tornadoes took.
Yes, and there were 3 tornadoes confirmed. And I know Jason's in Chowan County. There are survey teams surveying that damage. We haven't had that released just yet. But 3 tornadoes confirmed so far, 1 EF2 and 2 EF1s. Now I want to show you a broader view here. We have Pasquotank County, which has Elizabeth City in it, and Perquimans County, which is right next to it. So that just gives you a broader view of where we're talking about. Here are the zoomed in views. Here's one. This was the EF2 tornado. This was near the Mount Herman area, near Methodist Church Road. I did circle that area in red because the data coming in from the National Weather Service is very preliminary right now. So somewhere in that area, we had that tornado touchdown. That was an EF2 tornado. So we're talking about about sustained winds between 111 and 135 miles per hour. The second EF1 tornado, the first EF1 tornado, I should say, this was in southwest of Elizabeth City. So it started off near the Halls Creek area, moved northeast near Pear Tree Road, and you can see Graves Avenue highlighted as well. That was where the Meadowland mobile home park sustained some damage. That was up near Graves Avenue, up toward the north and east. We have the second EF1 tornado. This was near Nixonton. You can see Nixonton Road and also Body Road. So this tornado did run parallel to those roads there, highlighted in yellow, and still this is in Pasquotank County. Now, we've been talking about the enhanced Fujita scale, the EF scale. So we had 2 EF1 tornadoes, wind speeds between 86 and 110 miles per hour, and 1 EF2. Now, these survey teams, what they do is they go out and assess the damage. So they have damage indicators, and an indicator is a type of building, and it's also or a type of vegetation. So what they do, they look at that indicator, and then they decide how much damage that was done to that particular structure. And there's a very large table that they use to see what the estimated sustained winds will be, and that is how they rate these tornadoes, and they give it a rating of an EF0 through an EF5. So just to recap that, we have 1 EF2 tornado confirmed, and you're looking at damage here from Chopper 10, and we have 2 EF1 tornadoes confirmed, and we'll have more information as we get new details in from the National Weather Service this evening, and I'll be putting out a blog this evening after the show as well. We'll have your full forecast coming up in a couple of minutes. Ann?
10, your side crew spent the day talking to survivors in the hardest hit areas of North Carolina. One of them, this mobile home park off Pear Tree Road in Elizabeth City. This morning, our Lex Gray spoke to a woman who listened to meteorologist Dawn Slater and decided to leave her mobile home. Elizabeth Sutton always worried about that big tree nearby, and it came crashing down last night during the height of this storm. The woman feels thankful to be alive.
My life. All this here, it's gone. Oh, I ain't got to worry about that there. They gonna, people, I got a lot of friends and stuff. They gonna see to me back on my feet. I ain't worrying about this. All I worry about is me.
And now we're showing you some video of another mobile home that flipped over in those strong winds. Luckily, the 3 people who live in that home were not there at the time.
It was hailing, the wind was blowing, and the walls started caving in.
A man describing the scary moments inside his Elizabeth City home. The couple hit the floor, and they hope for the best. We are also following crowds at the oceanfront. Police are bracing themselves for a beach weekend. They do not want a repeat of last year. This year, they have a mobile command center, and our Deanna LeBlanc is there. You'll hear from her after the break. Plus, we continue to survey this damage. Only Chopper 10 can give you these views. Coming up, you're going to hear from one of those survey teams Tiffany was talking about. Our crews caught up with them in Elizabeth City. Hear what they had to say. Bracing for beach weekend. Tonight, there are crowd concerns at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. Police are preparing for an influx of college students. What they don't want is a repeat of this violence that broke out during a similar college event this time last year. Police arrested more than 150 people for a number of crimes, including assaults, robberies, and stabbings. Critics said the police department was caught off guard that year. This time, though, all 800-plus officers on the force are on standby. 10 Your Side's Deanna LeBlanc joins us from their mobile command unit. Deanna.
Yeah, good afternoon, and you can see the mobile command unit behind me. Definitely a different police presence this year, and I just checked in with police to see what's been going on. So far, we know of 3 incidents. We know that there was a pedestrian about an hour ago hit by a car. I'm still working to get information to see if that person was injured. We also know that early this morning, 2 men got into some sort of fight on Atlantic Ave, and that person had a knife. That person then got injured. But they're not calling it a stabbing. There's also a robbing on 18th Street. Now, there are huge numbers of young people here at the oceanfront. You can just see how crowded Atlantic Ave is. It took us about 20 minutes to drive 3 blocks. While we were driving, though, we did notice that huge police presence police said would be here. We drove by on ABC. 5 officers wearing bullet vests in the doorway. They're pulling up. seems like there's an officer standing almost every street corner. But the people we spoke with said that they like seeing the police here today.
I think they've done a great job. They've been a pretty constant presence down here, and it looks like everything's going really well today.
Because without them, things could get out of hand out here. So.
And we'll continue to check back in with police and monitor things down here at the oceanfront. Live in Virginia Beach, I'm Deanna LeBlanc. 10 on your side.
Something to keep in mind at any time this weekend, beach police could do an all traffic on 264 East. They could redirect it west at Lynn Haven Parkway. This also affects the westbound traffic. And again, this is if they call this necessary. Now, you also won't be able to get off 264 in that west direction until Lynn Haven Parkway. Your alternatives, General Booth Boulevard, Virginia Beach Boulevard, Laskin Road, or Shore Drive. All of this is posted online at wavy.com. Let's get you back to our coverage of those storms and tornadoes in North Carolina. Now we're going to take you south to Elizabeth City. It's Burnt Mill Road in Edenton, where we found one home flattened. An 80-year-old woman says she crawled out and survived.
Are you sore at all?
I said, I feel better today than I have ever felt.
And she was one of many without power as well. The town of Edenton telling us broken utility poles and wires that were down have since been repaired.
To be honest with you, last night I came out and I couldn't hardly see everything last night because it was so dark. But I literally had to stop once I got around the corner and I seen that house down there. I had to stop and I just cried because you never know what's going to happen. And I mean, it could be you never know.
And a lot of damage still in that area. We understand the National Weather Service heading that way to survey that damage. We'll have an update for you on Wavy News 10 at 11 if they have an update and confirm any tornadoes there. The American Red Cross set up emergency shelters across the state of North Carolina. A new one just opened in Hertford, which is in Perquimans County. It opened at 5 o'clock this evening and is available to anyone who needs it. Our coverage of the tornadoes continues with this new information from the National Weather Service. 10 on your side caught up with surveyors today in Elizabeth City. They said the winds range from 100 to 120 miles per hour in some areas. And they also said storm rotation developed near Edenton and intensified on its way to Elizabeth City. As part of this survey team, the National Weather Service goes around and they ask neighbors what they heard and what they saw.
Is really what we call classic supercells. The accounts from a lot of the residents, describing the strong wind and then some large hail and then actually things almost, calming down, and then all of a sudden the tornado just hits. I mean, those are classic descriptions of the evolution of supercells.
Jeff Orrock examined damaged buildings. He looked closely at how they were built and then how the wind knocked them down, and he uses engineering scales to determine the wind's speed and direction. So in other words, what it would have taken to cause the damage. Now, based on those speeds, the National Weather Service gives tornadoes the ratings Tiffany was talking about, such as EF1 or EF2.
Now your Super Doppler 10 forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona.
And we have 5 tornadoes confirmed in North Carolina, 3 of them in Pasquotank County, which is our area. One of those, an EF2, pretty significant, Tiffany.
Right, it was an EF2, 111 to 135 mile per hour sustained winds estimated, of course. And those surveys are still ongoing because they started off near Elizabeth City and then continued to work their way to the southwest. So we saw Jason out there in Chowan County. They're likely doing surveys out there too. And as we get new information in this evening, we'll have more updates, and that'll be coming up later on tonight on Wavy News 10 at 11. So if you missed us a couple minutes ago, we're going to quickly just run through the paths, the preliminary paths of the 3 tornadoes that were confirmed already by the National Weather Service. The first one, the EF2, this was near the Mount Herman area, and it's right in this circle. So we don't have an exact path where this tornado went because we're still getting new data in, but it was somewhere in the Mount Herman area near Elizabeth City. This is Methodist Church Road, and Chopper 10 does have some damage near the Methodist Church Road area. We have an EF1 tornado. That one was confirmed. It started well off to the southwest of this line, but it did get near Pear Tree Road and then Graves Avenue, and that was where that mobile home park was, and that sustained a lot of damage as well. We have another EF1 tornado. This one was confirmed near Nixonton and near Nixonton Road and Bonnie Road, and it paralleled it somewhere. So here is an estimated path. I did the best that I could do with all the information available, and we'll we'll have updates coming up later on tonight. Satellite and radar showing that we're looking at a much quieter evening compared to what we saw last night. And it has been a very warm day, but notice there are a few showers up there to the north of Richmond. We are tracking another cold front that'll move through this evening after midnight, it's looking like, early tomorrow morning. And that's going to bring us some cooler air as we head into your Sunday. So yesterday we had some drier air move in today, but we still saw those temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Right now it's 75 in Chesapeake, 77 in Hampton, 75 in Suffolk, 81 in Williamsburg, 80 degrees in Newport News. We're at 76 in Norfolk, 75 in Portsmouth, and 76 at the beach. So that cold front is going to drop in tonight, and it could spark off a stray shower across the northern neck, eastern shore, possibly the middle peninsula, but the rest of us are going to stay dry. Our next storm system that's going to affect us for a couple of days, well, that one's bringing a lot of wet weather to the Intermountain West here over the Rocky Mountains, and all of this moisture is going to be headed in our direction, and that's going to be the storm system that's really not going to go away. It's going to continue to affect us through much of next week. So our latest future track model showing those spotty showers across the northern neck, eastern shore, 8, 9 o'clock, and that continues. Notice that it's only going to affect a small area this evening, mainly north of the metro. Midnight, things really quiet down. That cold front moves in. We could see some clouds with it. Then by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, lots of sunshine, some clouds north. Temperatures in the lower 50s. Then by tomorrow afternoon, we're only looking at highs in the mid to upper 60s. So it is going to be cooler than those 70s and 80s that we saw today. Sunday night into your Monday, notice that the clouds will be on the increase, and here starts the unsettled weather on Monday. Monday afternoon, it's looking like by 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, we are going to see that rain move in, and then the rain will stick around for the next couple of days. Not the best looking 7-day forecast, but it will remain on the warm side. 70s expected on Tuesday. Showers, thunderstorms likely Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and those clouds stick around as we head into next weekend. And
coming up, we're going to show you more from Chopper 10. These are the images captured today in the sun's light after last night's storms. Thousands of North Carolina residents are without power tonight. 10 on your side caught up with crews from Dominion busy repairing and replacing those power lines and poles that went down during the storms. There are still 3,100 customers without power in Pasquotank County. Dominion hopes to have that back on by midnight. Now, Elizabeth City Public Utilities says 4,000 customers are without power there, and they may be out for several days. A North Carolina state trooper and his family found themselves in a tornado's path. This is what's left of their home on Troy Drive in Elizabeth City. Strong winds ripped the structure right off its foundation. The shed that housed cars badly damaged, along with a trailer holding items for a business, but they say they're just happy to be alive.
All of us were running to the bathroom. My wife, our 4-year-old, and myself. And when me and the baby got to the bathroom door, it slammed the house